Hello guys, this is O'Neill and you're watching O'Neill's Aquascaping. Once again, I want to thank you all for all the love and support given that helped me to do a lot better. For all the new viewers out there, you'll be interested to know more about aquascaping. You know what to do? Just go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ring the bell icon to receive notifications from my channel. So, as I wanted to share how I started with aquascaping as my hobby during this current COVID situation, when I started with it, unfortunately I never made any videos of the same, and I never imagined or dreamt that I'd be starting a YouTube channel. I've just gone ahead and made a time lapse out of it. Let's go watch it.
By the way, I really want to share this with you all. I got feedback from some of my viewers. I got to make some short videos, and at the same time, new fellow hobbyists should get some value added details. So without any further ado, let's get on with the time lapse and some cool clips of my scape. And while you're at it, I want to put some light on some terms that I've been using in my videos so that it gives a better understanding to all. So anyone out there new to the world of aquascaping, I have mentioned dry start and flooding during my videos. For a layman, it would mean when you start setting up your tank for aquascaping, you would have two options. The first one would be flooding, which is self-understanding. What it really means is you set up your aquascape, you fill it with water, and you're good to go. However, the dry start is a special way to set up a planted aquarium, or you call aquascape. It's set up as usual, meaning after the introduction of the substrate, usually nutritious soil is used. So I've been using ADA Amazonia version 2 soil. The decoration is added, followed by planting the tank. Moderately moist but not wet environment is set to be created for the plants, which will be kept growing in their immersed form for an amount of time. Only the plants that have developed well and spread on the substrate, the aquarium, then is filled with water. Now let's talk about the benefits of dry start. The first thing would be you wouldn't be facing any algae issues. There would be no water changes required, no plants floating around or being pulled up by the fishes. Because during the flooding, these are all the issues that you're going to be facing. Like you need to do constant water change so that the plants get adjusted to the water. No cycling of aquarium required. Dosing of fertilizers not required. Then CO2 not required. I think that's really a lot of benefits of dry start method. Now I'd share some tips for the dry start, what I've learned during this process. A dry start aquarium requires very little care during the early growth phase. Only what is required is a good lighting, which is usually switched on and off automatically using a timer. Other technical components are not necessary at this time, like fertilizing the aquatic plants during this phase is also not necessary. Either if nutritious substrate is used, the plants can very well subsist on the nutrients in the substrate via the roots. Here you can see a picture of my dry start covered with cling foil to retain the moisture. The plants get the necessary carbon from the surrounding air. Just make sure that the moisture level in the aquarium is maintained and the plants do not dry up. To achieve this, you should moisten the contents of the aquarium every now and then with a spray bottle. Especially in the higher areas close to the lamp, they tend to dry up quicker and need to be looked after more continuously. A minimal gas exchange is also recommended to prevent mold growth. For this purpose, the aquarium can be briefly ventilated as and when required. Now, why am I focusing on humidity so much? The right level of humidity is so important in order to create a good growth environment for the aquarium plants. I really want to emphasize that it is moderately damp and not wet, because too much humidity does not lead to success, especially with aquascaping. Because the waterlogging in the soil substrate, it would often happen that the plants rot. Likewise, too high a water level in combination with appropriate lighting can lead to algae growth in the upper regions of the soil. Algae growth in the soil due to high water level, a visible or increasing water level is therefore not a good thing and should be eliminated. For this purpose, you can dig a small pit into the substrate somewhere in the foreground which reaches almost to the bottom plate of the aquarium. Now, what all plants could I use during a dry start of my aquascape? Mosses are perfect for a dry start and grow splendidly onto the hardscape. Carpeting plants are often caused to bop up by burrowing animals or strong oxygen production during an old-fashioned aquarium start, and that'll have to be laboriously replanted, especially when they weren't really planted in the first place. Now that's the problem that I've been facing with my Monte Carlo carpet, and I'd be very honest guys, I am actually thinking to remove it and put some other foreground plant. Now to make sure everything's growing well, an aquarium is usually operated for 2 to 4 weeks in a dry start process before it is flooded and then run wet. A dry start is also advantageous for the microbiological balance because in the humid environment, bacteria that are already useful can settle in the soil. Frequently flooded dry start aquariums do not have a particularly large ammonium and nitrite peak and thus can be occupied by animals after a shorter period of time.
That'll be all for today. If you liked today's video, please hit the like, share and subscribe button. I'll definitely keep coming up with more videos. Thank you for now. Bye-bye.